The views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
Hello there, and welcome to Real Reviews. My name is Jameson Rabbit, and the man seated next to me, you know him, you love him. It's Steve Sabaki. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
It's one movie after another.
I like that.
For this edition.
It is. It's a big one.
Oh.
It's been a few weeks since we were together, and there's been a lot of movies coming out. Some that we just didn't have time for.
No.
Movies slipped through the cracks on us. Even there's just so many. We've
got a list.
We've got a jam-packed show. We have a special guest who's going to join us near the end of the show. I'm excited for this. I'm sure you are.
Yes, I am.
So let's dither-dather no more and get right into it. And I'm going to get started with probably one of the bigger movies of this past month. It is the newest film from director Paul Thomas Anderson. It is One Battle After Another. His film, now starring Leonardo DiCaprio, focuses on Bob. That is Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He's a revolutionary who's part of a group called the French 75. He fathered a child with a fellow militant named Perfidia Beverly Hills, who is played by Tiana Taylor, as they were fighting against the fascist corrupt system. And they both kind of in their own ways, but she especially got entangled with a man named Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw, played by Sean Penn, a colonel in the military who's in charge of anti-immigrant detention centers. Events take place that puts everyone at peril, sending some folks on the run into hiding and others end up dead. And the bulk of this film then takes place 16 years later, after the opening events, with Bob, now a reclusive stoner living off the grid with his daughter Willa, trying to stay off the government radar. But it's when Willa goes missing after Colonel Lockjaw suddenly has a keen interest in her that the action really gets going. Bob's on the run, trying to stay ahead of the militarized teams looking for him, while also trying to find his daughter. And it brings some absurd circumstances, outlandish characters into play, as everyone is chasing someone, sometimes passing each other in the process without realizing it. And there's just all kinds of craziness going on. There's a secret white nationalist underground society that call themselves the Christmas Travelers. That is hilarious and also kind of scary.
Scary, yeah. It is.
Yeah. Benicio del Toro is also in this movie as a sensei who is also a guy who leads the kind of all the immigrants in town. He's kind of the safe shelter for all of them. And it's a dark comedy that is full of high anxiety. It's a father's journey, and more importantly, it's really a kind of slamming take on parts of society, and consequences for past actions come roaring up in the future in this film. A different Paul Thomas Anderson movie than I've seen before.
Well, it's the last one he did was Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
From a few years ago, which I liked.
Yeah.
But this is night and day different from that.
It really is.
I mean, that was a nostalgic look at his youth, and this is more of it's a political message.
Yeah, this movie has a
That's
message to it that is more than just like remember the good old times.
Yeah, and I mean, it has been generating a lot of discourse out there, which we could spend a whole show on. But I liked it, but I think it falls short of being a Paul Thomas Anderson masterpiece.
Okay.
I don't think it's his best film to date. I think that still goes to There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I mean that's a high bar to clear.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever gonna surpass that, or he's ever gonna surpass that. But I think this is up there in his upper half. I mean, this is the type of movie that I think he excels at. I mean, it's a drama. It's got some humor to it. It's got tension to it where you never know what's going to happen next. It's a story that comments on the current times. There's characters who have a level of exaggeration to them, but they still seem real.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they do have kind of a Dr. Strangelove quality to them.
Yeah, that's a good pull. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it felt real and absurd at the same time, and also that's really terrifying because the absurdity felt real in where we're at today. Like, that was pretty terrifying. Yeah, it's. I've never seen Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't remember him having a lot of car chases in his movie.
No.
This film had a car chase that had affected me physically as we're going up and down these hills.
Up and down the hills.
And I felt my stomach dropping.
I did too.
Like, oh, I don't like this. Really, though, performances in this movie that are great.
Well,
I think 3 leads that were all terrific in this movie.
I mean, I'm going to make a prediction here. I think Sean Penn will win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
He's tremendous in a way that we haven't seen him be in a long time.
Well, I mean, his character, he's got a definite mission and purpose. He's striving to become a part of this right-wing group.
Right, but he has a secret.
But he also has weaknesses, and we don't want to give those away. And he just does a great job showing all that.
It's a great Sean Penn performance. There's a physicality that he brings to the character, certain ticks and nuances he has. I love Tiana Taylor in this movie. We didn't get a ton of her. I think she's great as Perfidia Beverly Hills, and unfortunately we just don't get a ton of her in this movie.
I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's always awesome.
He's kind of cosplaying as the dude.
Yeah, I thought his dude stoner act in the second act of the film got to be a little bit too much for me. I mean, but you do have this father-daughter dynamic that's going on here that I wish Anderson would have expanded on. I mean, I wanted to see more interaction between him and Chase Infinity, who plays the daughter.
She was really good, too.
She was really good,
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. There's so much going on in this movie. I've seen it a couple of times.
You have?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's 3 hours long. I saw it twice the first week because I love this movie. And the second time revealed different things than the first time, right? Obviously, there's just so much happening. And it's weird because really uncomfortable situations are followed up by really great dark comedy bits. And it's a very different movie that I kind of hope Paul Thomas Anderson expands out into this type of film a little more than just kind of, movies about the 70s, as much as I enjoy all those. What did you end up giving One Battle After Another?
I gave it 4 stars. I mean, it's not his best, but I think it's going to see a lot of Oscar nominations, including Best Picture.
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be a very strong contender for Best Picture. So much so that I think it's my favorite movie I've seen this year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it is. I gave it 5 stars.
Wow.
I think it's my favorite movie of the year so far. It's really good.
Okay.
It's different than anything we've gotten this year. It's the second great Benicio del Toro film of the year, too.
Well, you needed to see more of him in this movie.
This is true. This is true. All right, we turn to a streaming film that we caught. What do you have for us?
Yeah, on Apple TV Plus, we got The Lost Bus, directed by Paul Greengrass, based on the true story of a school bus driver named Kevin McKay, played by Matthew McConaughey, who had to navigate a bus carrying 22 children and their teacher, played by America Ferrera, to safety through the 2018 Camp Fire, which became the deadliest fire in California history, killing 85 people, displacing more than 50,000 people, and burning an entire community to the ground. And McKay had only been on the job for a few months when he gets an emergency call to pick these kids up from an elementary school in Paradise, California, and drive them to a safe location after the school gets a mandatory evacuation order. And along the way, there's just so much going on with this bus. I mean, they encounter wildfires, dark smoke that turns the day into night, a loss of radio transmission, narrow back roads, a lack of water, kids suffering from smoke inhalation, looters.
Yeah, I was going to say, guys running around with guns.
I mean, any possible obstacle for stopping this bus is pretty much there. And this is in Paul Greengrass's wheelhouse. This is what he does. I mean, he did 3 of the Bourne films. He did Captain Phillips, which starred Tom Hanks. I mean, this is what he excels at. This movie looks great, looks very real, but on the downside, boy, this Matthew McConaughey character, he's got everything going against him.
Yeah. The first 20 minutes of his life is like, oh, geez, and now this?
Wow. I mean, his boss isn't happy with him. He's close to losing his job. His ex-wife hates him. His son doesn't like him.
Life is just beating him down.
His son, played by his actual son, Levi McConaughey. The son's getting sick. His mother is ailing, and it's played by his real mother.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Kay McConaughey. Didn't get along with his father. I mean, wow. So which brings me to the point of, if you've read about this after seeing it, you'll find out that a lot of what you see in this movie didn't happen.
You mean they added drama to it?
Yeah, they did. They did. I mean, and if you want to find out what's true and what's not, you can Google it. I don't know if all the negative things happening to the bus driver are true, but if not, I thought the writers laid it on pretty thick, and it was kind of lame.
Yeah, I mean, the movie had me near the edge of my seat for a good chunk of it.
Yeah,
because there's a lot going on. I think Matthew McConaughey is really good in this. He's probably better than the part asked for as an actor. I wish that he and America Ferrera had better chemistry. I thought their chemistry was okay. It wasn't like Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves Speed type of chemistry of like two people on a bus. We got an emergency.
Do you want a romance going on?
I don't know. He's a man getting beaten down by life, but it's kind of his strength that kind of drives the narrative of this film. Paul Greengrass, though, as a filmmaker, is somebody I'm really up and down on. I really grew tired of his filmmaking style a long time ago. A lot of quick cuts, shaky cam, that's his thing.
Yeah.
I got tired of that pretty easily. It's more manageable in this movie than I was expecting it to be. I'm also not usually super excited for a film that's co-starring a bunch of whiny kids. Luckily, they were the kids themselves were like tertiary to the plot in this movie somehow.
Well, they were whiny for a reason.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, seeing kids in a bus surrounded by fire, it's not my idea of a good time at the movies.
Yeah.
I mean, am I going to see this again? No. But another issue I had was for like the first 2/3, there was two different movies going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The bus, and then the firemen trying to fight the fire, led by the fire chief, played by Yul Vasquez. Mm-hmm. And it goes back and forth. And then after about 2/3 of the way, that disappears.
Well, that's because they said, we're going to stop trying to fight that fire now, guys.
Yeah,
Let's find a bus.
But it just kind of ends, and then you just go strictly with the bus.
There's not as much drama when you're just filming a guy inside a headquarters looking at a map, going to send guys there. That's not as much drama. I think this movie was properly placed on streaming.
Yeah, it was.
I think this was a good choice. When it first was announced that it was going to be a streaming film, I was like, well, that's an odd choice. But after having seen it, it's a great choice, because I don't know how this would have done in theaters.
It was in there for a while, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. What did you end up giving The Lost Bus?
I gave it a 3. I mean, I thought it looked pretty authentic to me, other than some of the writing, which I thought was a little weak.
Yeah, I concur. I gave it 3 stars as well. It's decent action. It looks good. It'll keep you entertained. My wife was invested in this, which is hard sometimes. And yeah, it was all right. Part of it might be McConaughey, though.
Well, you remember, when was the last movie he starred in physically, where he was actually on, not a voice, but on screen?
I can't even think. What was it?
The Gentleman in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
2019.
Wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right, moving ahead, we have another film that's based on a true story. It is The Smashing Machine from director Benny Safdie, based on the 2002 documentary of the same name. This film takes place beginning in 1999, following MMA fighter Mark Kerr, who here is played by Dwayne Johnson. This film follows him as he struggles with the life of a fighter, alongside his trainer, friend, and fellow competitor Mark Coleman, who in here is played by actual MMA fighter Ryan Bader. Kerr is climbing the ladder of championship gold, traveling to Japan to fight in Pride Fighting Championship, all while not so secretly having a bigger battle with addiction. His addiction and serious drug use and steroid use affect everything, but specifically his incredibly rocky relationship with his girlfriend, Dawn, played here by Emily Blunt. Theirs is a relationship that doesn't appear healthy, and everyone around them can see it. It is a toxic relationship. Kerr goes through bouts of extreme ego and massive deflation, which affect his mental health as well as his physical well-being at times, all while chasing the payday and the gold. This is in the days before the UFC became a household name and there was big money paydays for these guys. They were fighting just to survive until their next fight. This is a very different type of MMA if you were around for those early days. The documentary is a documentary that I've watched a couple of different times, The Smashing Machine. It's good. It's a time capsule. And when this was announced, I was worried that this would pale in comparison to that. specifically because Dwayne Johnson isn't necessarily a good actor.
Are we no longer calling him The Rock?
If we can call him The Rock.
Okay.
I'm trying to give him a little.
Not that it matters, but
I was worried
I didn't know.
that the facial prosthetics on him would do all the work on screen. I thought he was actually good in this.
He is.
He brought a little nuance to his acting for the first time ever, maybe. And this is very faithful to the documentary, and I think almost a little too faithful because I felt like they left a lot of things out. If I'm going to watch the exact events unfold, I'd rather just watch it with the real people doing it as opposed to a dramatized version of it. The one thing that I wish they would have expanded on that is in the documentary is the relationship between Kerr and Mark Coleman. That is a bigger part of the documentary of these two guys who
What's the most interesting part?
they're fighters.
Yeah.
They have to face each other in a championship at one point. He's also his trainer. He's his confidant. He's his safe space when he and his girlfriend are battling.
Yeah.
That was kind of pushed into the deep background of this movie.
I couldn't wait for this movie to end.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the trailer makes this movie out to be this inspirational, Rocky-like sports hero movie.
Yep.
It's not that at all. I mean, it's pretty dark,
Kind
and
of depressing
and sad. It's not fun to
It's
watch.
a Safdie movie. That's what they do.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I didn't think the lead characters were very appealing and likable, and maybe that's because I'm not a fan of mixed martial arts or ultimate fighting. I don't watch that, and maybe it's because the story only covers a few years
Yes.
in the life of this individual, and we don't know anything about his backstory
Right.
and how he got to the point where he's at. And boy, they just made Emily Blunt's character out to be
She's horribly unlikable, isn't she?
a villain.
Yeah.
I mean, I cringed every time she was on the screen because I
She's
said,
good in that, though.
she's good, but you just was like, get them apart,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then you find out that they got married.
Yeah.
And they had a kid. I mean, I'm sure, I'm not being fair, I'm sure there's more to her story than what we see.
Right. Well, we weren't given that.
And that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, the only character that appealed to me was Mark Coleman, played by Ryan Bader. I mean, I really enjoyed his performance.
And interesting, I mean, in real life, Mark Coleman is a far more successful fighter than Mark Kerr was.
Is he?
Yeah, Mark Coleman was like a UFC legend, whereas Mark Kerr was, I'm not going to say a footnote, but nowhere near the level of Mark Coleman as far as championship glory and all this stuff. And so it's interesting that in this movie, he is just kind of treated as an afterthought. And in real life, his impact on him and attempt to help him and everything was so strong. That and also his other trainer, Baz Rutten, who was played in the movie by his actual trainer, Baz Rutten, in real life at the time. Also, I mean, he was the guy who was trying to get him clean. He was trying to do all these things. And in this movie, he just kind of shows up. He's the announcer at the end who also is kind of trying to help him out and train him. That story is kind of pushed to the deep background. It was odd. It was an odd film. It feels like fight films should be so easy to make. It's so easy to make a great fight film.
Well,
boxing films and such.
I think Safdie did a pretty decent job showing, I mean, with how realistic the fights looked.
Sure.
I mean, from what I could tell, I mean, I don't know anything about them. And then...
Well, he had real fighters in the ring with The Rock. I mean, The Rock is a very physical person on his own, but then everyone he's fighting was actual fighters, too.
Yeah, and I think he did a good job showing, the dark side and how slimy that sport was back then. And
Sure.
It reminded me of The Wrestler. Remember that movie from 2008, which starred Mickey Rourke?
Aronofsky's movie, yeah.
Which I thought was a much
Great
better film.
Oh, yeah,
Much
I agree.
better film.
Yeah. What'd you think of The Rock in this film?
His performance was good, but it didn't surprise me. I know some people are just
there's so much
crazy over
people
it.
talking about how he's going to win Best Actor.
No. I don't even know if he's going to get a nomination because I think the field's going to be pretty crowded this year. I mean, I didn't think it was much of a stretch as some have made it out to be. I mean, who else could have played this role, if you really think about it, other than Dwayne Johnson?
I mean, I'll say, like I said, before the film came out, when I first saw the trailer, I said, those prosthetics are doing a lot of work for him. They really made him look exactly like Mark Kerr. Doesn't look like The Rock for the majority of the movie.
I mean, I've done my fair share of trashing him on this show.
Yeah, well deserved, too.
So I give him credit for what he did. Yes, it was a good performance. Strong. I mean, enough to win an Oscar.
Not even close.
Think so, no.
No, not even close. All right, what did you end up giving The Smashing Machine?
2.5 stars. I'm looking forward to what his brother, Josh Safdie, will do
Christmas
with
Day.
another sports movie, Marty Supreme.
Yeah.
About a table tennis player.
Timothy Chalamet in that one. That one looks
But
great.
2.5.
I gave it slightly better, 3 stars. But I mean, this was being billed as this is going to be an incredible film, and I give it 3. Right? Is it 3.5 there? I'm always wrong with my scores.
I think it's 3.5.
I can't read.
I can't even.
Sorry. I turn in scores and
All
forget
right.
them.
Well,
Anyways,
that's a pretty good score.
3.5 is pretty good. All right, let's move on to a film that you were able to see. It was in and out of theaters so fast, I couldn't even get to it.
It was quick.
Shocking.
A big, bold, beautiful journey directed by Coconata?
Coconata, yeah.
Coconata, okay. This movie starts with David, played by Colin Farrell, who needs to get to a friend's wedding but has to quickly rent a car after a wheel boot is put on his vehicle. And apparently the only rental company available is one called Car Rental Company, manned by Phoebe Waller-Bridge and an almost unrecognizable Kevin Kline. At the wedding, David meets Sarah, played by Margot Robbie. She's a free spirit. She doesn't want to be involved in any relationship, which is something contrary to what David wants. They flirt, but they end up going their separate ways. And then on the drive home, the rental car's GPS asks David, do you want to go on a big, bold, beautiful journey? And he says yes. And so the GPS directs him to a rest stop Burger King, where guess what? He runs into Sarah, whose car, which came from the same rental company, won't start. So David gives her a ride, and they go on this journey together. So, without giving a lot of it away, the journey consists of the pair encountering a series of doors, which takes them to various points in their past lives. For example, one door takes the couple to David's high school, where David relives a day as his 15-year-old self. The people in the high school see him as 15-year-old David. They see Margot Robbie as
So they're
the
actually
adult.
interacting with the people, though?
Yeah, they
Okay.
are. They're interacting. They see Margot Robbie as the adult woman.
Okay.
All right. And this is the day where he's in the school musical production of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. And so it was kind of a fun to see Colin Farrell on stage dancing and singing.
Yeah.
I really got a kick out of
All
that.
right.
I mean, I love Colin Farrell, and
Yeah.
I thought that was great. So when you watch this movie, you have to leave logic and common sense at home. It's a romantic fantasy. It's heavy on the fantasy, unfortunately light on the romance. I wish there would have been more of that. But I was completely drawn in by the premise and the story and these two characters and this slow building bond that was forming between them. I thought Farrell and Robbie have great chemistry together. Yeah, this movie's corny, it's cheesy at times, it does tug in your heartstrings, but I was fine with that. I didn't really like how they got the fantasy going with the car rental company, with Kline and Waller-Bridge and the GPS that asked them if they wanted to go on this journey. That was kind of dumb. But, I mean, the last movie Coconata made was 2021's After Yang.
Love it.
Which I know you love.
Absolutely.
I didn't like it. I think we actually talked about it
probably
on
did,
this
yeah.
show. That also starred Colin Farrell. I think this one is much better.
Oh, great.
Much better. So
Shocking that it was like in and out of theaters.
it was in theaters for about a week.
Yeah.
And it's not for everyone. It's not as big as bold as I had hoped it would be, but I think when it becomes available for streaming, which I imagine is going to be soon, I think it's worth seeking out.
Yeah, I was planning on seeing this, and we'll definitely be looking for it when it hits streaming because I love both of them. I'll watch anything with those two actors in it.
Yeah.
Coconut as a director, I really enjoy. I believe he also did Columbus a few
Yes, he
years
did.
ago, which I really enjoyed with Haley Richardson. So what did you end up giving this movie?
3.5 stars.
3.5. Excellent. Yeah, good. It's amazing sometimes how a good movie will just get no traction in the theaters.
No.
Just nobody goes to see it for some reason.
It's disappeared.
Yeah. All right, moving ahead, I also have a bit of a fantasy, much less romance and much more sci-fi involved in it. I went and saw Tron Ares from director Joachim Ronning. Disney is back with a third installment of the franchise that began in 1982 and was resumed in 2010. Here we have competing companies in an arms race to integrate AI into reality in a tactile way. We have Julian Dillinger, played by Evan Peters. He's the head of a weapons manufacturer who is promising being able to use his tech to create fully functioning machines and AI warriors that can regenerate on the battlefield. But he has a problem. That the code that creates these people out of thin air basically puts a time limit on how long they are able to exist for any one time. Within, I believe, it's 3 hours or something like that, they disappear to the sands of time. Eve Kim, who is played by Greta Lee, is the head of a competing company who she and her partner go back to Flynn's old records. You know Flynn from the original.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Go back through his old records and his old shop that he used to have, go into his Apple IIe computer and discover the key to solving that problem of a time limit on these things. But in a Terminator 2 type of scenario, she's on the run from AI killers that are sent after her. The head of this AI killer syndicate is Ares, who is played by Jared Leto. He is the master control, the perfect soldier who begins to become self-aware. And after basically being the Terminator chasing Eve through the first half of the movie, turns on his master, Julian Dillinger, in order to shut down the program and maybe extend his own existence. When he begins to become sentient and become the helpful Terminator, well, then they're soon chased by Terminator 2 style by a new master control named Athena, played by Jodie Turner-Smith. Athena will stop at nothing to retrieve Eve and the key. Tron is a franchise that I've never really been invested in. I remember watching the original several times as a kid, but it was more because I would watch anything sci-fi related at that time.
Well, I saw it in the theater when it came out. That was in 1982.
82, yeah.
Yeah. And remember the Tron arcade game, which came out at about the same time?
I was about to say, I preferred the game to the movie. The original's cool and had groundbreaking graphics, but I loved the game.
Yeah, the game
over the
was
movie.
Great.
But my appreciation for Tron never crossed into like actual entertainment. The sequel I thought was good.
Legacy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
I didn't see it.
Had an
I lost
amazing
interest.
Yeah, had an amazing score to it. This also has a tremendous score. Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails provide a atmospheric mood to this movie that's really good. Jared Leto is an actor who I really don't care for. He always comes across as very self-important in his acting. And I find myself so many times being like, oh, aren't you so interesting, Jared Leto, as I watch him on screen?
Well, he's a rock star.
He's also the lead of some really bad movies, like epically bad movies. Somehow here, though, his not quite human persona works as in the character of Ares. I also, a lot of times, I give some leeway to, especially in sci-fi movies, stupidity masquerading as being smart. And this movie is great because it can be fun. There's a lot of mumbo jumbo that tries to tie everything from one set piece to the next, and then we have to explain it. None of it makes sense. We bring back Jeff Bridges as Flynn. Again.
Was Bruce Boxleitner in
No.
this? He was in the first two.
The OG light cycles are brought back, though, which is great.
That was in the first movie.
Yes.
Yeah, those are cool.
They go back into the first movie at one point to find Flynn, and we get into an old school light cycle.
Oh, I may have to watch this.
I had really low expectations going into this movie because of Jared Leto. The trailer looks stupid. We don't need more Tron movies. That's what I found myself really enjoying this movie.
Because there was a Tron TV series too, wasn't there?
I believe so. I never saw it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure that that we need more of these. And from the sounds of it, this movie lost a lot of money, and Disney announced that they're done with Tron movies, at least for the near future. And I don't think we need to drag Jeff Bridges into another one for no reason either. But this one I found myself enjoying much more than I was expecting to. So Tron Ares, I give a healthy 3.5 stars.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun, surprisingly. All right, let's move on to another film we have here starring great actors. What do you have for us?
Roofman,
Yep.
directed by Derek Cianfrance. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but Roofman's based on the true story of Jeffrey Manchester, the Roofman robber, who robbed fast food restaurants by breaking in through the roof. And even though he was a criminal, he showed kindness to his victims, even giving one of the restaurant employees his coat before locking them in the walk-in freezer. And the Roofman robber is played by Channing Tatum. He's a divorced U.S. Army veteran living in North Carolina, turns to crime after he struggles to provide for his 3 young kids. After carrying out more than 40 robberies over 2 years, he's apprehended at his daughter's birthday party and sentenced to 45 years in prison. But he manages to escape, and he ends up living undetected for several months in a Toys R Us store. While there, he donates toys to a local church and develops a relationship with one of the parishioners, Toys R Us employee Lee, played by Kirsten Dunst. And amazingly, and despite all the publicity that his escape received, nobody recognizes this guy.
Yeah.
They don't know
There's
who
a
he
big
is.
hole in that idea.
You can pretty much see where this is going. I mean, Manchester's a nice guy. He falls for Lee. He becomes attached to her 2 daughters. Everybody at the church loves him. But, you know, the reality is he's a criminal. He's on the run. He knows that he needs to get out of the country. He gets help from his army buddy, played by Lakeith Stanfield. I mean, you can predict pretty much how this is going to end.
Yeah.
Without me even saying anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely more dramatic than comedic. This movie was
Well,
billed
yeah.
in the trailers as being like
This is
silly comedy.
a prime example of a deceitful movie trailer. I mean, it made it look like this is a laugh out loud romantic
it was like
comedy.
specifically like there's an interaction when Peter Dinklage's character as the store manager discovers Channing Tatum the first time that's kind of slapsticky, and that was what they sold this movie as.
Yeah,
And that was a moment in this movie. I have a lot of questions about the plot of this movie. One of them you mentioned, like how did nobody recognize this guy? He's just walking around. Also, how bad are they at inventory in this store where he's just taking everything and no one's like, we're missing half the store's inventory right now. This movie did a good job, though. They gave me an exterior shot of a Toys R Us right next to a Blockbuster Video that it got me all in my feelings seeing that. Like, here we
I
are.
miss going to Toys R Us.
telling you, it was
I
great.
loved it. Took my daughter there all the time.
I struggled with the whole career criminal as a sympathetic figure, even though he's pulled off numerous new crimes and is ruining people's lives. He wasn't a convict with a heart of gold. He didn't look like Channing Tatum. You
mean the real guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
He's a prison escapee and a con man. I'll say one thing. Kirsten Dunst is an actress that I don't like.
Oh,
I never have.
come on.
Going back to Interview with a Vampire. Never liked Kirsten Dunst. This movie,
Shame on you.
she was tolerable. I also thought it was kind of charming that she fell for a guy with a Spider-Man obsession. Like, oh, I see what you did there. Peter Dinklage, good. Probably way better than this movie deserved in that role.
Yeah.
I went into this movie expecting one movie, got a different one. And I also enjoy Ben Mendelsohn is the pastor in this
the
movie.
pastor, yeah.
I think he's like great in everything he does, even in the smallest of roles. Like he's just doing weird things as this pastor. I felt like I kind of got a bait and switch on what I was going in for. I enjoyed this movie enough.
I
It
did.
was fine.
I mean, I thought Channing Tatum did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, you felt empathy for him. You were kind of rooting for things to work out.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he was good. He looked a lot better than the real guy.
Yeah, he did. The guy got a glow up on this movie, that's for sure. What did you end up giving Roofman, sir?
I gave it 3 stars.
Yeah, I gave it the same. It's a 3-star movie. It's fun.
Yeah.
You took your wife to this movie, right?
No, she
No?
ended up not going, and
I was gonna
she
ask
probably
what she
not would have
thought.
liked it because I think she was expecting this funny
right.
comedy.
All right. Let's move on to another funny comedy we had here. It is Anemone from director Ronan Day-Lewis. It is his feature film directorial debut. If you recognize the name, it is Daniel Day-Lewis's son who lured the Pops out of retirement to star in this movie. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, I think it was less than lured.
Daniel Day-Lewis stars as Ray Stoker. This is a difficult to describe film, but Ray is a recluse, a hermit who has left society for a small cabin in the mountains after having been Accused of a war crime during the Troubles in Ireland, he left behind a young wife and an infant son. His estranged brother, Jem, played in here by Sean Bean, travels to this remote cabin to try and convince him to return home after 2 decades away. He's not welcomed with open arms by his brother, but the two brothers have an uneasy visit, punctuated by a couple of monologues from Daniel Day-Lewis that are truly the strength of this film, the backbone of this film. He has his reasons for abandoning his family, and the brothers rehash and argue over lifetimes of trauma, beginning in their childhood and carrying on into the war. There's a lot of psychological pain and guilt associated, and Ray rages at his life and rages at society and anything around him. And Jem persists despite all this as they try to work through a lifetime of pain together. And it's a slow, simmering story that reaches a boil at moments during these monologues specifically. And it's 2 great performances in I think, a somewhat meandering film. It's at its best when these two are working things together in solitude. I think that's the best. Unfortunately, the movie kind of loses its intentionality at points when it focuses back on the wife and the son back home, and I felt like,
I thought that was the most interesting
really?
part. Yeah.
Every time they went back to the wife at home, I was like, get back to the cabin. I don't care about these people.
Okay.
I
like that part.
I felt like the movie was really unfocused, though, in where it wanted to go. It felt a lot of time just spinning its tires.
Well, I mean, out of all the movies that we watched for this show, this was the most frustrating to me. I mean, the last time we saw Daniel Day-Lewis was 2017 in Phantom Thread.
Terrific.
Which I loved.
Legendary.
And I was so excited to hear that he was coming back, because what was he doing? He was a shoe cobbler, I think. And I felt like I was watching more of an acting lesson from him than a movie. To me, this was such a disappointment. I mean, his performance is pretty much those 2 monologues.
That's the strength of it, yeah.
One of which is kind of disgusting.
Yes.
And the rest is dialogue mumbled between him and Sean Bean.
Tough to understand. This needs
there
subtitles.
Were times where I wanted to yell out, give us subtitles, because I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say he should have been given better material to work with. However, that material came from him and his son. They wrote the movie.
Yeah.
You know, and I kept thinking after watching this, what was the point of doing this? Was it so that he could make a comeback? I don't think he's going to do anything more after this.
I had the same thoughts in my head of like, so this is the movie that brought him out of retirement. What did he see? What was there other than I want to work with my son?
His son.
Yeah, I struggled with this movie. I had the highest of hopes for this movie when I just saw the cast. Give me Sean Bean and Daniel Day-Lewis coming back, I'm in. And that's probably why I enjoyed their moments together the most. I really liked them. I really like Sean Bean a lot.
Well, you liked it when they danced together.
That was I was about to say, my favorite moment on film this year is Daniel Day-Lewis and Sean Bean rage dancing in a small cabin drunkenly. That's amazing. Give me that moment more.
That's a little different.
That was terrific.
I mean, but I think the purpose of this was to get a movie into theaters that was done by his son, because this is his son's directorial debut.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think this movie would have been made without his father being a part of it.
It's tough because I've had people ask me about this, and I struggle to give a recommendation on it. I probably enjoyed it more than I would expect some people to, which is tough because it's a tough watch. It's not an enjoyable watch per se.
No, it's not. I mean, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. It's a good performance. Does it up there with his best? No.
No.
Not even close.
Give me Daniel Plainview all day over this.
Yeah. Will he get nominated for an Oscar for this?
I would be surprised if he did.
Maybe because of the name. Does he deserve it? It pains me to say it. I don't think so.
Yeah, I could see his name value getting him one, but I struggled with it.
Disappointing.
What did you end up giving Anemone?
I gave it 2 stars. I really was. Like you, I just thought, why? What are we doing here?
Yeah. It got 3 stars out of me for the performances of the 2 leads alone, but it wasn't an enjoyable movie.
I think
it was
you got to give Daniel Day-Lewis a mulligan for a return to the big screen.
Yeah, I agree. All right, that's all the movies you and I have, but stick around because in a moment we're going to have a surprise guest step in to talk about some other movies with me. So
Ones that I won't see.
yes, we had to find a replacement value. So it was great seeing you.
Hey, we want to
you
take a
again
second
soon.
to
And,
thank our
stick
sponsors,
around.
our
We'll be
friends
right back.
over at Marcus Theaters, the Palace Cinema here in Sun Prairie. It's truly the place to watch movies. Come in and be greeted by a friendly face when you enter. Come get your tickets. Then make sure to stop by the concession stand to get some delicious refreshments.
Here you go.
Thank you. Then settle into a dream lounger, sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. Hey, it's Real Reviews.
All right, welcome back. Look at that little movie magic. And my co-host looks very different. Here we are. Welcome. This is Steve's daughter, Blake.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks
So-
for having me.
So we have you on here because Steve, notorious, will not watch anything scary, gory, horror related.
No.
And I hear all the time you saying that you watch these movies.
I do.
And finally we said, well, why don't we just have you on to talk about some movies with us?
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I try to get him to watch the horror movies. He won't budge, so.
I've tried tricking him a couple times into watching them, saying it's not that bad.
I have as well.
So here we are. We have a couple of horror movies because, of course, it is October movies. So we have a couple horror-ish type of movie, gory movies, what have you. And you volunteered to jump in on this. So I'm going to go ahead and let you get started with the first one that we have this month. What do you have for us?
So the first movie we have is Him. It is a horror, psychological thriller, sports hybrid, directed by Justin Tipping. The movie is produced by Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions, which some of you probably know from his other films, such as Us and Nope. The movie stars Marlon Wayans, Tyreek Withers, and Julia Fox. The movie centers around Cameron Cade. He is a rising quarterback chasing his dream of football stardom. On the verge of a major professional breakthrough, Cameron suffers a traumatic injury under strange circumstances, and the incident threatens not only his career but his sense of identity. When all seems lost, legendary quarterback Isaiah White, who's played by Marlon Wayans, and is on the verge of retirement, reaches out to Cameron with an offer, a chance to train at his secluded desert compound. Cam accepts, and things start to get weird, and I mean really weird.
Yeah.
I love a good sports movie. I love a good horror movie. I don't know if I love the two of these together.
Yeah, I struggled with this movie.
I did too. I was kind of happy when it was done. The movie definitely leans into that classic sports drama trope. You have the rising star who gets derailed. We've seen it a lot. But at a deeper level, it's really a metaphor of fame and the pressures of high expectations and what that can do to a person, especially in the sports world.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of symbolism in this movie, which I wasn't really surprised, being a Monkey Paw production. On a horror side, I thought it felt flat. There was really no memorable scares to me.
Gory moments?
Yes, yeah, definitely gory.
Not scary moments.
Yeah, and the gore really came from, I guess, like football injuries. So if you don't like that, maybe don't watch.
Yeah.
And then also kind of that eerie cult-like feel it had throughout, and kind of that comparing religion to football type thing. So that was definitely there. One scene that really stuck out to me was a guy is repeatedly getting hit in the face with a football while Cameron is doing a drill.
Yeah,
and
the jugs machine just hitting him in the face.
Yeah, and they won't stop until Wayne's character is satisfied. And so that one was probably the one where I had to watch through my fingers just because it was really uncomfortable. But outside of that, it was just kind of a lot of gore and a lot of like really weird moments that I didn't understand.
Yeah, there's a moment in a sauna. There's some sauna stuff going on.
Yeah, with some crazed fans.
Yeah. I think I wanted to like this movie more than I actually did.
Yeah.
And in the time since watching it, that kind of really solidified that opinion. When I walked out, somebody asked me right away, somebody who works there was like, what'd you think? And I'm like, that movie kind of messed with my head, and I don't know if I liked what it did.
Yeah.
I don't know if I appreciated it. The first like third of the movie is all football stuff.
Yep.
With
Yep.
Cam in his attempts to make the NFL. The football elements felt to me like they were written by somebody who doesn't understand how football works. The guy who's supposed to be the next Patrick Mahomes gets a head injury, and suddenly they're like, we don't think we're going to draft him. And they're like, the fact that the team name of the Marlon Wayans team is the Saviors, I was like, this is so heavy-handed. As the psychological torture kind of wore on, I found myself enjoying the final act of the film.
Okay.
I thought, but the problem for me is I never bought Marlon Wayans as the GOAT, the 8-time MVP, the greatest player of all time. Like, I never bought him in that role.
Okay.
And so that, if I don't have that buy-in, that also kind of, it was tough for me. I did enjoy theater, talking about theater experience. There's a guy in the theater, there was only one other person in there with me when I saw it. There's a guy sitting over my right shoulder who, every time something would come creeping out of the dark shadows, like there were moments where it's deep darkness, focus on the middle screen, and something would come crawling up from under a bench, right? And this guy behind me would go, oh no! And it happened over and over. And it got me laughing every time. It was like, every time there's darkness, you know something's going to be coming out of that darkness. It would be like when someone bends over in front of a mirror and stands up and there's something behind him, this guy every time, like, oh no!
So he made it enjoyable.
Oh, he made it enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Marlon Wayans kind of stood out. He brought a lot of intensity to the role.
That's true, yes.
I thought he sold the mentor who is maybe not quite what he seems. I agree, the opening half was better, actually, I thought.
Okay.
At the end, I don't know, it just got too crazy. It kind of lost me.
It definitely got crazy.
I think it was just like throwing blood and gore around, and all of a sudden now like Julia Fox is in charge, and I don't know. I was a little confused.
Yeah, I was disappointed. And after thinking back on it, I'm always trepidatious when they really publicize from the mind of Jordan Peele. Brought to you by Jordan Peele. I think most people wouldn't know that this was not directed by him because the advertising was solely around his name.
Yep, I agree.
And that worries me when I see that.
Yes.
Because you don't trust the filmmaker who actually made it. And so you're like, you like Jordan Peele, right? He has something to do with this.
Yes.
And
but it's not his.
Unfortunately, it wasn't his. And it was missing that lack of quality, or that quality that he brings to his films.
Yeah, I agree.
Some nuance to it. So, what did you end up giving him?
I ended up giving it a 1.5.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll watch it again.
Yeah. I was wondering what you think about it. I ended up giving it 2 stars.
Okay.
Not great.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, when I walked out of the movie, I was like, I told Blake to watch this, and I hated this movie kind of. Like, this is not a great intro to the show.
Yeah, I will say for spooky season and loving horror, I was disappointed.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's move on to another kind of more traditional type of horror movie that we got this month. It is The Black Phone 2 from director Scott Derrickson. Follows the events of the 2021 film in which the grabber, who was played by Ethan Hawke, was snatching and killing children in the 1970s before grabbing young Finn, who, through the help of a phone that connected him to the souls of those missing children, was able to kill the grabber. We know this. This was the first film. This film takes place in 1982 now. Finn, still played by Mason Thames, is back. He is haunted by memories and trauma. His sister Gwen, who's played by Madeline McGraw, is now being haunted by visions of children being murdered at a Christian youth camp going back to the 1950s. These visions are driving her mad. Some are associated with a phone booth near a lake at this camp, and she has to go investigate it. So joined by Finn and Ernesto, a classmate, a boy who kind of has eyes for her, they travel up to this camp amidst a once-in-a-generation blizzard that has completely isolated them. And it's just the 3 of them, along with 4 camp employees who have stuck around. And here the visions become all too real, with the grabber coming for Gwen in dreams and able to access the real world through these dreams. I've seen movies that this happened before. He's also taunting Finn through this phone that, of course, doesn't work for anyone else. And they need to solve the disappearance of 3 young boys in hoping of cutting the tether for the grabber into the real world. I like the look of this film. It felt very early 80s to me. Mm-hmm. There's some good scares in here, I thought. Mm-hmm. I like the isolation of the Snowden camp. It's a cliche situation. Right? We have a blizzard. They're stuck in here. It could have been used to greater effect, but I get it. Like they're driving through the blizzard, and here we are, and we can't get out. My one issue with this movie is they turned it into kind of a mid Freddy Krueger film to me.
Yes.
I mean, it's very much, good thing we brought the Dream Warriors with us.
Yes, it is. Most of the time, it is taking place in a nightmare.
Yeah.
Actually, so much so that I was like, okay, is this real life? Is this the nightmare?
Sure.
I had to kind of stop and try to figure that out. I did, read a lot that just go see Nightmare on Elm Street and you'll be fine. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. I definitely think that you need to see the first one before you see this one.
Yes.
It's very connected to the first Black Phone movie, but we get a lot more backstory and information that we didn't get in the first movie, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed that we got to learn a little bit more about the backstory of the grabber himself.
Yes. And the big reveal about the mom too. That was very interesting.
Yeah, which. But yeah, there were definitely a lot of scenes that tied back to the original, or just moments that if you didn't see the original, you wouldn't really get it, the humor and
I don't think you would understand why Finn is having such a hard time.
Yes, exactly.
You didn't see it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I highly recommend that. I liked the setting. I was a little unsure about it at first. I'm like, winter camp? Like, what?
Yeah.
What is that?
Sure.
But I think it really helped make the film and made it really eerie and created that good nightmare setting, especially when they were out on the frozen lake.
Yes, and like half the film takes place on this frozen lake.
Yeah.
I thought there were some really good scares. I thought that
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke as the grabber is great. I enjoy him. I also enjoy Damien Bashir, who plays like one of the owner of the camp, basically.
Yeah.
I like him.
He's
Every time
always
he's on
good.
screen, I love him.
He's always good, yeah.
There's a couple, this Christian couple there that I thought they were just really written really shallow. I didn't think they had a whole lot to do in this other than just be low-level antagonists for the kids. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I had one big nitpick for me. This movie takes place in a snowstorm. Half of it takes place on a frozen lake. Not one breath coming out of anyone's mouth. This movie looked like it was shot on a soundstage because there is no frozen breath coming out of anyone's mouth during this movie.
Okay, I didn't notice
I realized it like a
That's
third of the
good
way through the
catch.
movie. I'm like, this is bothering me. And then I intently was watching it with that eye, and I'm like, never did I see a breath. Like,
Yeah, and I was
it's
also
weird.
thinking
Put it in
about
post. Just have it come out while they're talking.
I was also thinking about where they lived compared to where the camp was.
Yeah.
There was no snow where they lived? Or
Apparently not,
maybe-
because we showed the dad, and he's like, oh, it's snowing
so
up there, huh?
That was interesting as well. But yeah, I mean, I will say this movie takes more risks than the first one. The first one was a lot more simple. This one kind of dives into the supernatural side of things more. So if you don't like that, you
Sure.
may not enjoy this. But as horror sequels go, I was satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah, I rewatched the original right before going to see this one.
Same, yep.
And enjoyed that a lot. I wasn't like blown away by it, but I was into the ride the whole way
Yeah.
for this one. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it quite a bit, and I'm kind of curious if they're going to continue this, as horror franchises like to do.
I hope not.
Makes money, they got to make
I
another
know,
one.
I know. I think I'm good with it ending.
I was going to say maybe you make the prequel, but they kind of told a lot of the prequel story in
I
this
was
one.
thinking about that, but
We go
I
back to
don't
the
know.
1950s and see.
Yeah, I just think that not necessary.
Yeah, I agree. All right, what did you end up giving Black Phone to?
So I gave this a 4.
Nice.
It's creepy. I liked the setting of the winter setting, and I think I would watch it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I think this is a good double bill if you're looking for a good horror, double bill. I'm into this one. I struggle on which one I enjoy more. I think I gave them both the same score. I give it a 3 stars for me. It's fun. I'm also, I'm not a big horror guy.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've been thrust into the role of watching all the horror movies on this show.
Okay.
So not like my favorite genre. So I'm usually a
Got
little low
it.
on horror movies, but
Okay.
this one was fun, and
It was fun, yeah.
yeah, good
Entertaining.
cast. All right, let's take a look ahead while you're here. Next month we're going to be reconvening for some movies. Only one real horror movie involved, I think. But next month, we're going to have such films as A House of Dynamite, the new Catherine Bigelow movie, which, as we're recording today, just came out. I watched part of it this morning. We also have the new Bruce Springsteen biopic, Delivered Me From Nowhere. Begonia, a film that I know your dad doesn't want to see because it looks pretty gross. Yorgos Lanthimos' newest film, starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. We will have Predator Badlands. We'll have Die My Love, the new Lynn Ramsey movie starring Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. There's also a boxing film called Christie starring Sydney Sweeney. And then over on Netflix, Guillermo del Toro has his reimagining of Frankenstein hitting. So
I'm counting down the days to that.
think we can lure you back on to talk about maybe some Frankenstein or something?
Yeah,
maybe,
definitely.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get you on here a little more often now. So those are the films that you can look forward to on our November episode, amongst maybe some other ones. We'll see. But make sure to tune in to find out what we're talking about next time. That's it for us. Great job, first time out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Oh, outstanding. All right. Well, until next time, I'm Jameson.
I'm Blake.
Have a great one.